I'm just going to get straight into it. Mindset is one of the most important things when it comes to trading, and you guys probably heard that so many times, and if not, then this video is great for you. But if you have heard about it, I am going to change the way that you think about that whole concept, because everyone talks about mindset, but what exactly is it? And this is going to be not edited, so I'm just going to go right into it. If I mess up, I mess up. I'm just trying to get the point across. Now, I'm literally going to explain it to you guys how I would want it to be explained to me when I first started trading, and how mindset really does impact your trading, because the strategy is the most easiest part about trading. I don't care what anyone says, the strategy is the easiest thing. It's literally about mindset and just executing, right? So imagine this. Imagine I told you you would lose $5 every single trade, and then you'll be able to make $20 every single trade. So if you lose that trade, you'll lose 5. If you win that trade, you'll be able to make 20. You're probably not going to care about that $5, and you're probably going to stick to your stop loss every single time. You're like, oh, it's only $5. Who cares about that $5? Exactly. And that's the mindset that you kind of have to have when you're trading. Who cares if I lose, because this is my plan, and if I stick to it, I know that I'll be a profitable trader because I see how my plan actually is, right? When you started paper trading, you saw how profitable you were, and then when you went into actually trading with actual money, guess what happened? You started losing, or you weren't as consistent, or you weren't as profitable as you were before. And that is because of your mindset. It's not the strategy. You would easily take the $5 loss every single time, and you would actually stick to your stop loss, and you would actually stick to your plan because you don't care about that $5. And every time you win, you probably wouldn't get greedy. You probably really don't care about that $20 either. You know, $20 is cool, right? But it's not that much compared to relatively how much people make trading. But it's still cool, right? You can make $20 or you can lose 5. You'll stick to your plan almost every single time because of how small the values are, right? But once you start to add a zero, lose $50 or make $200, that's where you start to tweak a little bit, right? And this is the mindset I'm trying to help you guys get over, because you're not going to be able to scale if you have the same mindset. You know, when you lose $50 or lose $500, you're like, oh my gosh, dude, if I lose $500, then it's crazy. Or if I lose $50, it's crazy. This is the reason why you don't stick to your stop loss. This is why you don't stick to your plan. It's because of your mindset and how you view the money and view the position in the first place. Recently, how I started trading is I don't even really trim. Now, it can be good, right? And it could also be bad for a lot of people that don't understand how trading actually works. Trading is a risk to reward game. Right? That's literally it, and that's exactly how I view it. The way that I was able to overcome every single obstacle was just changing the way that I viewed trading and just how I viewed everything. If I lose on this trade, I'll lose $5,000. If I win on this trade, I'll make 15, 20, depending on how it is. Before, I'll lose 5, make 5, I'll lose 3 and then make like 5 or something like that, and it's with the same position size, right? It's with the same exact position size. Every time I trim, for the most part, it will literally just keep going after that, right? I'll trim at 10% and then it'll go to 30%, and then I'll trim some more, and then I'll trim at 50%, I'll trim some more and stuff like that. But what happens is the whole entire position size, you probably will make like 15-20% of that position size, which is not bad at all. 20% is amazing. But relatively speaking, if that position ran, and your last sell was at 50%, you just missed out. You got out because of an emotional reason, right? Because you wanted to lock in profits. That's not really trading the chart, essentially, because you're just basing it off of your P&L or your percentage and stuff like that. The way that I've been trading recently is literally based off the chart. Like, I'm looking at the 5 minute, the 1 minute. I'm just waiting, right? It's literally just about patience. Why trim here, right? If I wouldn't get calls right here and I'm in puts, why trim here? Like, I'm not trimming as much anymore. And if I take a loss, let's say I should have trimmed there and then it came right back down, I take a loss. It really is not that big of a deal, because I know my losses are so small compared to my winners. So now, when I do win, right, it's going to be 20, 25%, 30%. It just depends on the chart. But usually, I'm able to capitalize 20, 25, 30% just being patient. Why am I getting 50% out here, 75% out here, and just like slowly scaling out? What's the point of scaling out, right? The way that you're supposed to trade is based off the chart, not your P&L, not your percentage. There's no point of scaling out if the trade is not showing you to scale out. And a lot of people, they'll see a nice push in their favor, then they'll start scaling out. And it's like, for what though? Like, what is the reason for you to scale out? This is literally showing you how weak the stock is or how strong the stock is really going in your direction. Like, yeah, it's probably going to need a pullback after that, people taking profits, but is the move over yet? Like, you think after that, it's just going to come right back up to high day? And if it does, you're going to get stopped out way before that anyway. But for the potential that you could make on that trade itself, it's like, why get out for, you know, a 10% gain when this thing ran 80%? And I'm not saying you're going to be able to catch the whole move, but the move will show you when to get out. The move will show you when to get in. Just like I did on Friday on Tesla. And I really do think that I even sold earlier, but I think that I stuck to my plan very well, which is exactly what I wanted to do. When I got in at 165, right, I'll have a small stop loss. I'll lose 5%, right? Or I'll lose at most 8% for a potential 40% gain, right? I was at the 165 break, and that's when I got in, and I just waited. It never went under 165. It kept just, holding that area. There was no point of me selling, right? Oh, you could trim some here. For what, though? If the move's not over yet, the 5 minutes looking good, everything's looking good, why trim here, and then when it goes to 166, the rest of your contracts will hit 40%, but your net P&L on that trade is only going to be like 20%, not even, when it was 40%. So you're hurting yourself essentially when it comes to trimming and all that stuff, because you're trimming way too early or you're not selling fast enough, right? Just because I'm saying don't trim, that doesn't mean that, oh, I'm just never going to sell and just ride this out to 100%. No. What I'm telling you is to look at the chart. Just look at the chart, and then that's how you base your entries and your exits, not your P&L, not your percentage. And a lot of people are like, oh, well, after a nice move, I'm just going to get out. For what, though? The chart's not telling you to get out after it just ran 50 cents and you're in calls. Why? You think the chart's telling you to get out? Like, if you are in a train and you're going 100 miles per hour, there's no stopping you yet. Like, what is there stopping you? Now, you could stick to your plan. Oh, at this next train station, that's when I'm going to get out, right? That next resistance level, once it breaks, that's when I get out. That's sticking to your plan. That's good. But there's no train station. The train's going 100 miles per hour. There's nothing in its way so far. It's probably going to need to slow down once it goes on a turn. But then what happens when it goes on a turn, right? People are taking profits, and then we keep going. And if it doesn't keep going, then you have a plan for that, right? If it doesn't keep going and it fails to keep going, then that's where you're going to be out, right? I'm not trimming, right? Oh, I'm going to take some here because it looks like it wants to, and then it might keep going, because that actually hurts your P&L. Right? Trimming hurts your P&L because, and I've been like researching this thing, logging my own trades, which is why I have been so much more profitable recently, is because trimming hurts your P&L. I might take a smaller win if I didn't trim on this trade, but my next trade, if I did trim and then it went up to 40%, I'm not going to make anywhere near as much as I could have made if I held it till that 40%, till the chart told me to sell. And it makes up for the trades that you should have trimmed and it came down a little bit, and then you sold for a 10% gain instead of a 15% gain. Half of the contracts you sold it at 15%, and then the other contract you sold at 10. That 5% difference, it could start adding up, but so will the 25% difference. Because if I started trimming at 165.5 on Tesla, like Friday, I would not have anywhere near that P&L that I had on Friday. And it just makes up for everything, right? It makes up for every single trade that I could have taken, that I could have trimmed at 15%, but I sold at 10% because I don't want to trim. And it's like, it's just a mindset thing. And this opinion, this might not apply to you. Who knows? I'm just telling you guys exactly what's helped me and why my P&L has been consistently bigger. And I'm just waiting for the day that I get a new high of year. You guys seen the best day of 2023 so far? I'm going to top that. Especially the way that I've been trading. Like, last week was phenomenal. The IRS loved me last week. So I'm just waiting for that. But the way that I've been trading, it's still been consistent too, right? It's still been consistent, but just higher percentages with the same moves as I usually take. So hopefully this helped you guys, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.